The key to the game was switching to the man-to-man and putting Eric Swope in. His activity to end the first half was terrific. As Donovan Kirk mentioned, we went to our scramble defense and trapped them a few times. It speeded them up, and we were able to stop them and get some very quick baskets. Second half, we came out very, very strong. Wanted to be the aggressor. We didn't go back to the man-to-man or the traps until we put Eric back in, but we were able to shut him down in the zone for the first 5 or 6 minutes and ended up pushing the lead up to 22 at one point. And I was very, very comfortable until they trapped us a few times and we turned it over. I thought the turnovers were more, we relaxed a little too much. But we were still able to keep it in double digits, and I really wanted to get to the foul line. In fact, in the last 7 minutes of the game, I want layups and free throws. And we were able to do that. Manu made some free throws. Gary Adams was terrific from the foul line, and that makes all the difference in the world.
How important was this game for you guys to get a win and get that feeling again of winning after the last three?
The first home win in 2014.
Yeah.
And it's February 1st. It's pretty important. You know, what I told the players is we have some things that really need to be improved to be a contender every night, to be competitive with the teams we're playing. Someone asked, well, you've lost 4 of the last 5. Yeah, well, it was Duke, it was Syracuse. I mean, that's the reason, because the other team is really, really good, and we're in the game for the most part. But you have to really know your role and execute your role, and that becomes especially important in the last 5 minutes. You got to know who's going to take the shots, and you can't turn the ball over. And with our team right now, that's been a challenge all year. And we knew it was going to be that way, because all these guys played in different roles. They didn't have the experience in the role they're in now. So, but I thought tonight we did a very good job of executing.
Hey Jim, do you have an update on James?
He sprained an ankle. He's been treating it. He's being reevaluated every day. He's in the training room right now getting a treatment. And we'll see on Monday how far he's progressed. I'm not expecting him to practice Monday or Tuesday or play Wednesday. But that could easily change depending on how quickly he heals. There's some guys, you know, after a week off, that ankle will be better. This is the very first time in his career he ever sprained an ankle. He has no idea what it's like.
Coach, 4 starters in double digits. I'm sure that's something you'd like to see.
I'd like to see that every night. You know, I knew we were going to have a hard time getting to like 75, but I was hoping our balance, that Garius and Ryan would be 13, 14 a game each. Ryan is in that category. Garius needs to finish some games a little stronger so that his double-digit games are regular. Donovan, I thought he could average double figures for us. And then we hope that Manu and Davon could combine, where one of them would be in double figures. And in fact, that has been true. Last week against Syracuse, Davon had 16. On Wednesday, Manu had 19. I would like to get them playing really well together at the same time, but it's tough for freshmen.
Davon played very few minutes tonight. Was that a matchup thing for you, or was that?
He played 19. That's half the game.
But you know, as opposed to other games, was that?
Well, you know, someone's going to play 20 minutes. They're not going to all. If I could play them all 40 minutes, they'd like that.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Right.
Yes, in the back, you had a question.
I was just going to say, you guys are playing another ACC heavyweight hit next week. Is there anything specific you guys are going to do to prepare for that kind of game?
Well, we're going to work very hard on our defense and rebounding, because we know how good Pitt is. They're one of the toughest man-to-man defensive teams in the league. They're also very tough offensively. They've got James Robinson, their point guard, is a guy that we recruited very heavily when I was at George Mason, and he was one of our top recruits when we first arrived here at Miami. They just got a really great team. They're very deserving of their top 20 ranking. I think they'll have a great game with Virginia tomorrow.
Coach, you mentioned the defensive rebounding being a key for Pitt. You out-rebounded Norfolk State by 10 today, and then you mentioned switching to that scramble man defense. Is that just a reaction to these past 5 games and the struggles you guys have experienced?
It was really just a reaction to the way the game was going. We got ahead 18-10. They ended up getting ahead 19-18. And I felt like we had gotten way too passive in the zone. So we did it against Maryland. We didn't have the success we did tonight.
What exactly gives it that success? Is it Ryan Brown going through the passing lanes, or Manu just running the point and being aggressive?
It's actually taking away dribble drives. The other team's focus is to ball screen and try to drive it into the lane. And they were successful in that. They ended up throwing the ball to Good, who had a great game, 6 for 8 from the field, 14 points, 7 rebounds. And he really hurt us in the second half. So we have to limit paint touches. Very, very hard to limit threes. If a team wants to shoot threes, like Duke's going to play Syracuse right now, they could shoot 35 threes. Because you can get a 3-point shot off. You can just back out further and further. But the whole key for us is limiting the paint touches where guys are driving into the paint or passing it into the paint or cutting into the paint, because those are the ones that hurt. Unless you're playing just a team that's just outstanding from 3-point range like a Duke. Most of the teams in our league, they thrive on getting into the paint and making things happen.
Coach, moving away from X's and O's for a second, you were wearing an autism awareness pin today. Can you
Yes.
talk about what inspired that for you personally?
Yeah, 2 of my friends, each of them has a son with autism. Pat Skeery, who is the head coach of Towson State University, and Tom Harriet, the head coach of Marshall. And they contacted me a few weeks back and asked if I'd be willing to wear an awareness pin, autism. And I said, of course. So I think almost all the head coaches around the country wore those today.
When your team went down 19-18, it was just a point. Did you sense an extra year? I know the results played out that way. Did you sense that you were just trailing a little bit, kind of kick them into another gear at all?
Well, I sensed that we had to do something different. They were getting way too comfortable with. When both teams are playing zone, the tendency is the game to really slow down. And that can turn you into a very passive player offensively, where you've been sitting in the zone and they've been hanging on to it and they've been hanging on to it, and then you go down and you got to work the ball. No, I felt we needed to become more of the aggressor, and we did.
Coach, at the end of the game, when Norfolk State got to within 10, around 6 minutes, 30 seconds, you called a timeout, and you mentioned this team needs to be better at finishing games. What did you tell those guys in this kind of situation? Great teaching moment.
Yeah, we basically told them we're looking for layups and free throws. Be on the attack, get to the rim, make them foul you, and handle the ball better against the press, because we turned it over a few times carelessly. And the guys did both. They made their free throws, and we did a better job at the defensive end. Didn't turn the ball over in the last, I don't think we turned it over in the last 5 minutes until Garius Adams had 30 seconds to go.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.